Welcome back to another Gigawatt video. In today's video I'm taking you over the best $600 gaming PC build for 2016. So the first question I get asked with any of these builds is how well will this build perform? And the answer to that is incredibly well. It will smash the AAA titles such as GTA 5, The Witcher 3, Star Wars Battlefront, Battlefield Hardline at 1080p and 1440p high settings, 60 to 75 frames per second, as you can see on your screen. It will also smash the most popular titles such as World of Warcraft, League of Legends, Minecraft and CSGO. And to be completely blunt, this build for CSGO is completely overkill. It will smash it at 140 frames per second, meaning if you've got those fast 144 Hz monitor, you can take advantage of that huge refresh rate and that huge frames per second. So without any further ado, let's get into the parts list for today's Gigawatt video. For the CPU, I went for the AMD FX 6300. Comes out the box at 3.5 GHz, and the eagle-eyed among you will have noticed that AMD released a new chip above this, the 6350. All the 6350 is an overclocked version of the 6300, something you can replicate yourself very easily anyway. Comes at for $98, which is a really good deal on this 6-core CPU. A lot of the latest AAA titles, especially Battlefield 4 and the Battlefield Hardline, will take advantage of more than 4 cores, and even for a light bit of editing, this CPU is definitely inclined that way. For the motherboard, I went for the MSI 760 GM8-P34FX Micro ATX AM3 Motherboard. To break that down, the motherboard is made by MSI. It runs on AMD's P34FX chipset and AMD 760 GMPA. It's a really solid motherboard. It's got USB 3, PCI 3, all the good stuff that you could want. SATA 3 6 gigabit per second. It's got the slightly newer socket design, the AM3 socket as opposed to the AM3 socket, and it comes for a really nice $50. It's a really solid motherboard for $50. For the memory, I went for 2 4GB DIMMs of Kingston HyperX Fury White. You might want to get this to 16GB if you've got a little bit more money, but 8GB really is enough at the moment for gaming. You can view a video between 8 and 16GB of RAM for gaming on my channel. It's really nice RAM. You can get it in white, black, red or blue. There's a white one in the parts list, but feel free to change it as you wish. It comes out the box at 1600MHz, which is all you need for gaming, and DDR3-1600 is where the sweet spot for value is. For storage, I went for a really nice storage config. I went for a Seagate Barracuda 1TB mass storage drive and a Kingston SSD Now V300 120GB SSD, both of which come in at $40 each. It's the best value, shall we say, storage config, and you'll use the SSD for your C boot drive with your Windows on and a couple of games, a few documents, and then you'll use your 1TB Seagate Barracuda for your Steam library, all your games, your music, your movies, all that kind of stuff. SSD storage typically is safer than hard drive storage, but nothing is safe on any form of media, so make sure you've got it backed up somewhere else. It may be that you put your important files on both this hard drive and the SSD, so you've got 2 copies in the event of a hard drive or SSD failure. For the video card, I went for the Asus Radeon R9 380X 4GB graphics card. It's from Asus, and they've got their STRIX cooler on, where the fans completely turn off under a low load. It's got a 4GB frame buffer, which is good for resolutions above 1080p, such as 1440p, and is very helpful when turning things like textures and ambient occlusion up. It comes for $233, which is a very nice deal, and Asus really did a great job on the cooler for this card. For the case, I went a little bit more premium. Some people would say this is a slightly controversial decision and go for a cheaper case, but if you're spending $600 on a PC, you may as well make it look bloody good. It's the NZXT S340 in black. It's an ATX mid-tower case, which means you've got plenty of room to play around within there with our Micro ATX motherboard, and it's $60. You can get it in black and blue, black and red, plain black, white, and a Razor black and green edition as well if you did want to pay a bit more of a premium, but the plain black one is in the parts list as current. But as I said with the RAM, feel free to change that up as you wish. For the power supply, I went for an EVGA 600B 600W 80+ bronze certified ATX power supply. It gives 215-ish watts of headroom, which is plenty. This power supply is 80+ bronze certified, meaning it's guaranteed to run above 80% efficiency at all times, which not only saves you money at the wall, but also makes your system more efficient and increases the lifetime and longevity of your components. And for $25, it's a great deal. This build for just under $600 really is the best you can get for $600 for 2016. If you found this video helpful, drop a like rating, make sure to subscribe, and we'll as always see you in the next Gigawatt video.